Brandy's family deeply concerned about her health today after an emergency that saw her getting rushed to the hospital yesterday after she fell ill at her home.
All right, y'all. The streets are buzzing right now. Brandy is heated. And all this smoke started after Monica allegedly put her business out there, claiming she's been dabbling with drugs after that wild onstage breakdown in Chicago. What was meant to be a legendary R&B reunion, a full-on comeback moment, has now blown up into one of the messiest scandals of the year.
You know, life is the greatest teacher. You learn things through what you experience. And so that was hard because trust issues, you know, you just don't know who to trust. You don't know who likes you for you or who.
That performance was supposed to be iconic, but instead, it turned into a train wreck before our eyes. Fans said Brandy looked off, like something wasn't right. She was trembling, her words were slurred, and then poof, she disappeared mid-show. Backstage, the tea kettle was boiling. Rumor has it Monica was quietly pulling folks aside, telling them Brandy wasn't doing too good and asking everyone to pray for her.
You know, to whom much is given, but sometimes we don't know what it's going to require. And my gratefulness stands because something happened that tried to take the voice away, but you know what? God's grace and His mercy continues to allow me to do this every night. And while some are laughing, I'm making the devil my footstool and coming out here every night for y'all. Every night. I'm not going anywhere. I definitely want to say it's an honor to share the stage with Brandy Norwood. Now I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. It took 27 years to figure out what we were supposed to be. And what I'm realizing is we allowed too many other people in the midst of what was just supposed to be us. So, in honor of just the way I feel, as I say thank you to each and every one of you, I want y'all to make some noise all around this room for Brandy, the vocal Bible. Now I say that with love because I know who I am and whose I am. And I'm gonna stand on being the realest and singing this real shit and telling y'all about all this crazy stuff I've been going through in my life.
Next thing you know, people were whispering that Brandy had overdosed. By the next morning, social media was lit. Timelines filled with clips, rumors, and wild theories. But to really understand how it got this bad between two R&B queens who once ruled the charts together, we gotta rewind the clock and take it back to where this whole storm first started.
Everybody is filling out papers and complaining because they didn't complete the show how they were supposed to. They want their money.
Literally, the boy is mad. The no boy is mad.
Left all of us confused. Is it over? Should we wait?
I feel like we gonna run out
And then they never did The Boy Is Mine. I didn't pay for the tickets, but I want my money back.
The boy is mine. The boy is mine. The boy is mine. That classic line was supposed to bring chills, not chaos. Brandy and Monica had just kicked off the Boy Is Mine reunion tour, and everybody was hyped like it was 99 all over again. This wasn't just any R&B tour. This was two living legends putting decades of tension aside for the culture. Fans had been waiting for this moment for years, watching old interviews, decoding shade, and praying they'd finally share the same stage again. The shows were packed, sold out city after city, a full-blown celebration of R&B royalty. But then came October 18th, the night everything flipped upside down. They were in Chicago, performing at the United Center, and the crowd was going wild, waiting for that iconic duet. "The Boy Is Mine," when suddenly, Brandy just walked off stage. No cue, no explanation, just gone. The lights stayed on, the music faded, and fans stood there in pure shock. No goodbye, no encore, no warning, just confusion. Within minutes, phones were out, clips hit social media, and the internet exploded. Everyone wanted to know what just happened to Brandy on stage that night. Right after that wild exit, fans started tossing around theories like confetti. Some swore it was just a technical glitch, but others weren't buying it. They said Brandy didn't look good at all. People online claimed she was trembling, her speech was off, and she looked completely out of it before slipping backstage and vanishing from sight. The audience was left confused and furious. Some even demanded their money back, saying that wasn't the show they paid for. But the internet wasn't about to wait for an official statement. Theories came flying fast. Was Brandy drunk? Was she high? Did she faint? Something had clearly gone down behind that curtain. And to make it even messier, Monica kept performing like a total pro, holding the mic, keeping the crowd calm, and trying to finish the show solo while Brandy stayed missing. That's when whispers started circling that Monica had allegedly told crew members Brandy wasn't okay. Within hours, the streets were buzzing with the claim that Monica said Brandy was using drugs. That single rumor flipped the whole tour energy upside down, and fans knew this wasn't just a bad night. Something deeper was brewing between those two icons. Brandy didn't let the rumors simmer for long. She came out swinging the very next day with a long Instagram post that had everyone talking. She started off humble, thanking fans for the outpouring of love and concern, saying, "Thank you all for the overwhelming love, support, and most importantly, your prayers." Then she added, "I sincerely apologize for the interruption to last night's performance in Chicago." According to Brandy, what went down wasn't drama. It was health. She said she'd been pushing herself too hard, rehearsing nonstop for weeks, and that her body finally gave out. She claimed she felt lightheaded, dizzy, and on the verge of fainting right there on stage. In her words, she experienced dehydration and exhaustion, and everyone on her team agreed that her well-being had to come first. Brandy also shared that she tried to power through and get back on stage, but couldn't. Not with such a technical show that needed perfect timing and synced sound. It sounded sincere, but let's be real. Not everyone was buying that explanation. Fans were still side-eyeing her statement, wondering if there was more behind that sudden health scare. Now, on paper, Brandy's explanation sounded fair. Dehydration, exhaustion, stress, maybe even age catching up. But fans weren't exactly buying it this time. The internet detectives went straight to work, connecting dots and digging through old receipts. They pointed out that this wasn't Brandy's first so-called health scare. A few years back, she'd been hospitalized after what police described as a possible seizure. And guess what? Back then, she also blamed it on dehydration and low nutrition. So when she dropped that same excuse again, folks side-eyed her like, "Girl, really?" But the real spice came from Monica's next move. While Brandy was laying low, supposedly recovering, Monica hopped on social media to thank her fans for showing love at the Chicago show. She said something that raised eyebrows fast. "Not every night goes the way it's supposed to." That line hit different. It sounded polished, but people swore she was low-key shading Brandy, like a subtle dig wrapped in professionalism. And from that moment on, fans knew this wasn't just about a fainting spell. The old tension between the two might have just reignited. Monica never dropped Brandy's name directly, but fans could feel the shade dripping through that post, especially when she slipped in that little line about knowing how to keep going no matter what happens. Whoa, that had social media in shambles. That one comment flipped the internet upside down. Suddenly, people were choosing sides like it was a R and B civil war. To some, Monica became the heartless villain throwing low blows while Brandy played the fragile victim. But others saw it the complete opposite, saying Brandy was milking sympathy while Monica was just being real. Then came the next bomb. Whispers started spreading that Brandy hadn't just walked off. She'd overdosed backstage. Allegedly, Monica knew the truth but tried to save face for the tour. Whether real or rumor, the damage was done. The internet couldn't stop talking, and fans were demanding answers. But to really understand why this whole thing blew up like that, you gotta rewind the timeline, because this ain't just business. It's personal. Brandy and Monica's tension runs deep, way deeper than a single tour stop in Chicago. Their feud traces all the way back to the late 90s. When Brandy was 18, Monica was just 17, and the industry had them pinned against each other from day one. The media, producers, even fans, everybody wanted to see who'd outshine the other. And behind the scenes, there were real punches thrown. Rumor has it, the two even fought right before their 1998 MTV Awards performance, setting the tone for a rivalry that's still shaking the game decades later. For years, Brandy and Monica went their separate ways. Two queens ruling their own lanes, barely even acknowledging each other. The tension was thick, but in 2020, the world got what it had been waiting for, their epic versus battle. Fans thought that night finally ended decades of silent beef and side eyes. The chemistry was shaky but hopeful, and when they later popped up together again in Ariana Grande's The Boy Is Mine remix video, people thought, okay, maybe the sisterhood is real this time. So when the reunion tour was announced, the internet lost its mind. It felt like healing, R&B unity, nostalgia, and grown woman vibes all in one. The fans were ready for peace, not drama. But that dream crashed quick after Brandy's sudden exit in Chicago. Almost immediately, so-called insiders, who claimed to be backstage, started whispering some unsettling stuff, saying Brandy's collapse wasn't just about exhaustion or dehydration. They hinted that something way more serious might have gone down behind the scenes. And as always, social media took it and ran wild. Gossip sites were blasting headlines within hours, painting their own versions of the truth. Some fans even said Brandy's team was in panic mode, trying to spin the story and clean up the mess before more damaging details got out. That's when everyone realized the peace tour had officially turned into chaos, and whatever happened backstage that night was about to rewrite Brandy and Monica's entire comeback story. Now, to keep it real, Brandy did speak up again after all that chaos. She said she saw a doctor right after the Chicago show and followed every medical instruction to bounce back. And get this, she even hit the stage the very next night in Indianapolis like nothing ever happened. No slurring, no stumbling, just pure Brandy doing what she does best. Still, fans couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The timing, the mystery, the silence from her team. It all made the story feel bigger than a simple case of dehydration. Especially when you factor in everything Brandy's been through lately. See, outside of this tour mess, Brandy's had a tough run these past few years. Back in 2022, right around another health scare, she got slammed with multiple lawsuits. Her longtime housekeeper, who had worked for her nearly 20 years, sued her for age discrimination, unpaid wages, and emotional distress. The woman claimed Brandy fired her just because she was over 60 and didn't even pay her properly for her final days. And that wasn't the only problem. A fashion designer also accused Brandy and her team of never returning a $45,000 diamond ring she had loaned them for a photo shoot. Yeah, it's been rough. So when you mix those legal dramas with health scares and tour meltdowns, it's no wonder people think something deeper is going on behind the scenes. Brandy's been fighting battles on all sides. And now, her comeback tour might have just pushed her to the edge. When you really piece everything together, the lawsuits, the stress, the non-stop tour schedule, her past health scares, and the pressure of keeping up her legacy, it's clear Brandy's been carrying a lot. Physically, mentally, and yeah, maybe even financially. She's been stretched thin. But let's not forget, Monica's been dealing with her own struggles too. Just weeks before the tour kicked off, Monica dropped a bombshell. One of her vocal cords had temporary paralysis. Most artists would have canceled everything right there, but not Monica. She powered through rehearsals, showed up every night, and still hit those notes like a champ. She even told fans it was just one of them days that a girl goes through, saying she didn't want sympathy, just faith, discipline, and hard work to pull through. That mindset explains a lot about how calm she seemed after Brandy's dramatic Chicago exit. Monica's learned to keep her composure, no matter what storm hits. But from Brandy's perspective, that had to sting. Watching Monica hold it down, performing like a pro while she was sidelined over health issues, and then hearing fans online say Monica's the one carrying the tour, that kind of chatter cuts deep. Because let's be honest, social media lives for comparisons. And when the internet starts labeling one as the strong one and the other as the problem, that's when resentment brews. And just like that, an old rivalry starts to bubble right back up. Louder, pettier, and messier than ever. Let's be real, the internet loves nothing more than pitting two women against each other, especially when there's history and drama baked in. But this time, insiders say Brandy's not just mad at Monica, she's mad at the narrative. Once again, she's the one looking like the problem, the unstable diva. And she's over it. Apparently, Brandy feels completely betrayed. She reportedly expected Monica to step up and shut down those overdose rumors publicly, to clear her name and remind fans that the story was fake. But instead, Monica kept it cute and quiet, staying focused on the next city, next show, next bag. That silence spoke volumes, because now people are whispering that maybe there was some truth to those backstage stories. And word on the street is that Brandy's team even asked Monica's camp to release a joint statement saying Brandy wasn't using any kind of drugs. But allegedly, Monica's team declined. If that's true, you can imagine how cold things must have gotten between them after that. This tour was supposed to be a moment of healing. Two grown women burying a decades-old rivalry, celebrating music and maturity. Instead, it's starting to feel like deja vu, like old wounds are reopening right in front of us. Sure, they're still performing together, smiling for the cameras and hitting their notes on stage. But behind the scenes, insiders say the energy is tense. The bond they once hyped up as sisterhood has turned icy again. All professionalism, no warmth. And honestly, if this keeps going the way it's going, this tour might go down as one of the most emotional and unpredictable R&B reunions we've ever seen. Touring ain't for the weak. It's straight up brutal on your body and your mind. You're hopping from city to city, barely getting any sleep, singing your lungs out for hours, doing press runs, rehearsals, photo shoots, glam, every single day. And for somebody like Brandy, who already has a history with exhaustion, that's dangerous territory, no question about it. Now, that doesn't automatically mean she's on anything. It just means her body might be screaming, slow down. Sometimes when your system's done, it's not about willpower, it's about survival. Your body just shuts down, period. And let's be honest, perception is everything in this industry. One fainting spell turns into overdose headlines before you can even refresh your feed. The gossip machine don't care about the truth. It cares about clicks. But as of right now, the Boy Is Mine tour is still going strong. Fans are still pulling up, tickets are selling out, and both queens are doing their best to keep it professional on stage. Even if the tension behind the scenes is thick enough to cut with a knife. But here's the thing. If Brandy has another health scare, things could spiral fast. Promoters might cancel dates, refunds could pile up, and her reputation could take a major hit. It's a scary line to walk, especially when every mistake turns into a headline. On the flip side, though, if she keeps showing up, doing what she does best, hitting those notes, staying transparent, being the vocal Bible fans know her to be, she could flip this whole mess into a redemption arc, a full-on comeback story that proves she's still that girl. At the end of the day, this whole situation has so many layers. Health, friendship, pride, legacy, and the internet's only adding fuel, twisting facts, and dragging up old wounds. But when the lights go out and the crowd goes home, only Brandy and Monica know what really went down that night, whether it was stress, exhaustion, or something deeper. Either way, I just hope Brandy's okay, both physically and mentally, because this industry don't play fair. And as she said herself, she's still sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. Hit that like, drop a comment, and smash that hype button if you're rooting for these two R&B legends to find peace again. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be back with even more tea soon.